Hi crafty friends. Today I'm going to share with you a little project that I have been working on and a tutorial on how to make one yourself. And you do not have to have this particular cutting die. I'm just going to show you how to make this acetate flat pocket to make any cutting die you have into a little pocket for embellishments to send to your crafty friends. So I just got this ice cream shop mini album for a one-on-one swap that I'm working on. This is not it, and I just had this brilliant idea that I was going to start making some little swap pockets out of it for some Valentine's Happy Mail. I absolutely love this cutting die. It couldn't be cuter. It has so many really fun add-ons in it, like, you know, doors, and there's a little cafe table and chair, the awning, and the words ice cream, and this cute little ice cream cone. There also happens to be like a Christmas add-on and a flower shop add-on. I do not have either of those, but I decided to do mine in the Valentine style, so I used this Sentiment Sweet, which is from a Sweet Stuff bag topper, and this is just some random cutting die that was gifted to me. I just happen to really like the font, so I just put Sweet up here, Valentine, and I made this little cluster embellishment with some rolled flowers and some goodies that I think I'm going to hot glue on here, just to make it look a little more elegant. So I got this heart acetate in a paper pad from Michaels, and that might have been last year. I just thought it was too busy to use it for the pocket and the flap, so I only used it for the flap. I used my cam snap setter and some plastic snaps, but you could use Velcro to do this. And I made a little gusseted pocket and attached it to this base piece from the cutting die. So like I said, I've been just playing with this ice cream shop cutting die, but you could do this with even your paper plates. I know everybody's been making these swap pockets out of paper plates, but I'm going to show you how to put a flap on it. Or you could pick a different mini album and do the very same thing. It's super simple. You just basically are going to change your measurements based on the width of your pocket. So let me show you how this works. It snaps open, and I attach the awning right to my top flap, and it opens fully so that I can get my embellishments out, which aren't finished, but super cute. I was going with this like sweet ice cream theme because of this paper that I absolutely love. I think this is a Cartabella collection. Maybe My Valentine. I don't have it handy, but I will link it in the description box down below. I got it on the $5 sale at the Echo Park had, and the only thing I didn't have was any ephemera. Absolutely gorgeous paper, very thick and beautiful. So like I said, I was going with this little ice cream theme, made a couple of embellishments that I'm going to send. I also made the KSCRAFT little ice cream sundae. Oh, and my G fell off. There it is. All right, so I've got some fallout here. And this is the little ice cream cone that comes with this cutting die. But I'm going to embellish all of these embellishments further and include them in my little pocket. It's pretty generously sized. I can fit quite a bit of stuff in there, as you can see. This is pretty thick, all, you know, and it all fit in there quite nicely. This is a very big die set, by the way, so that's why I chose it to make these swap pockets. You know, this is 5.5 inches wide, and at the tallest part it's 8 inches long, so this is pretty good size. So I just thought this would make a really cute pocket, and I'm just going to show you how to make this a little flat pocket so that you can do this yourself. So I went to the Liberty to already cut my next one out. Like I said, I'm hoping to send out some Happy Mail. I intended to send out Happy Mail at Christmas, never got to it, so I'm hoping I'm hoping it'll be different this holiday. So to make your flap, you're going to just basically have to play with whatever cutting die you are using. I figured my total length to be 6 inches for my pocket with the flap, and I wanted an overlap of 1.5 inches. So basically I did a 3.5 finish size for the top flap and a 3.5 inch finish size for the pocket. Okay, now the flap just needs to be the width that you're going for, and mine is 5.5. So I cut a piece of acetate, this heart acetate, 5.5 inches wide, and because I want the finished length to be 3.5, I added 1 inch because I'm going to be scoring it twice at the 1/2 inch and 1 inch mark. So you need to add 1 inch to the length that you need. And then you're going to score it. Let me pull up my scoreboard. I'm going to have to move some of this stuff out of the way. This is a ginormous scoreboard. You're going to score this at the top. And if it's directional, that makes a difference. And it does make a difference because the width is 5.5 and the length is 4.5. And we're going to score it. I'm going to use a better scoring tool, I think, for this. Yeah, here we go. Acetate isn't always the easiest thing to score. One thing I did find, it's easier to score on the wrong side because your fold tends to want to go that way. So 1/2 and 1 inch, and there you have it. This is your flap. So you're going to score it, and I am not using a scoring knife, and I'll tell you why, because when I did that with the first one, oh, and it happened anyway. It took some of the color off of these hearts. If you're using just plain acetate, then, see, it doesn't matter whether you use a scoring tool or not. So this is basically our flap. We're going to put adhesive right here. Red line tape would be the best thing. If you have red line tape, it holds acetate really well. So I may as well just score this with a scoring tool because it ruined it anyway. Okay, so you have your score line at the 1/2 and the 1 inch, and then you're going to put your adhesive. And for acetate, I highly recommend red line tape or double-sided tape right here. So also these corners are very, very pointy and sharp, so you should round them. Use your corner rounder, corner chomper, whatever you have, and just to take the I did cut myself the other day. Okay, sometimes it doesn't work on the first shot. So this is how I did this. Okay, this was just to give you, I haven't decorated this. I was trying to give you an idea of what this is going to look like. I'm looking it to look like a sweet shop or something. So we're going to attach, and I pre-cut all my pieces for this. We're going to attach this, and then I'm going to put the layering piece over it so you don't see my tape line. You don't have to do that. That's just me overthinking everything. So that's how we're going to attach our flap. And then I'm going to go back in later and glue on my awning. And I will cut these corners there because I didn't like how that looked. I did it on the other one. And that's how you make the flap. So let's go ahead and add some tape to this. I don't have any red line tape right now. It does work the best, but we're just going to go with this. This is just a, oh, and of course it's too short because that's how I roll. Okay, so do that. And I need a pokey tool, which I'm not finding. Okay, well, while I'm looking for the pokey tool, let's move on to the bottom, and then we'll glue everything all at once. Okay, so for the pocket, like I said, 3.5 inches high. So there's a gusset on the bottom and there's a gusset on each side. Again, you're going to score it 1/2 and 1 inch on 3 sides. So you need to add 1 inch to the height and you need to add 2 inches to the width. So this is 5.5 inches finished. This piece of acetate is 7.5 inches wide. And finished height is 3.5 inches. We have to add 1 inch for this gusset, so it's 4.5. So this piece of acetate is 4.5 inches high by 7.5 inches wide, and I've gone ahead and scored it. And I'm going to put these measurements down below if you want to repeat this exactly. But, you know, you're going to make adjustments based on whatever cutting die you decide to use as your background. You know, there's also swap pockets already out there that KSCRAFT and Scrap Diva make. And I think you could still make a flap for the top and it would be really fun. And there's lots of patterned acetate for Valentine's Day out there in the Michaels paper pads. That would be absolutely gorgeous. So after you have made your score lines, and I don't know if this is too difficult to see, I left this backing on my acetate just so that it was easier to see. You're going to go in on an angle and cut out that square, just as if you were making a box. You know, you take these corners out. Okay, just a slight angle. There you go. And I also slight angle here and here. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and fold. The first fold is this, and this is the front of your pocket, so you're going to fold away on that first score line, which is hard to see. And I'm not going to use a scoring tool until I know I've done it correctly. Yep, because it's hard to see. Okay, I think I got that. Ish. So there you go. And then it folds back on itself, accordion style, and that's the part that's going to get adhered to our paper. You know, this is going to be easier to do without this paper behind it. You won't be able to see it, but easier for me to do. Okay, so like I said, we're going to go back first on this line, which is very hard to see. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pause this, do this folding. Okay, I went ahead and finished scoring this piece of acetate. I am all thumbs all the time, so I didn't want you to see me struggling. And then went ahead and put my double-sided tape on the part that would get adhered to our, oh no, what happened? We got stuck here. That's going to get stuck to the bottom here. So it's just those two folds. Fold in and then out. Put your score tape on. I like to tuck the sides in first and then the bottom on top. And we're just going to stick that down. But first we're going to do the flap. So I also went ahead and stuck my awning on my flap and trimmed some of these corners off. You won't have to do that. I was just overthinking this as per my usual. So I have some double-sided tape on there, and I'm going to put it behind this layering piece up here. You, again, don't have to do this, but that's what I'm doing. And then I'm going to push down real good with my scoring tool, and then I'm going to glue down my piece of patterned paper. So there you have it. So that's our flap with the awning attached. And even if you didn't have this awning attached, this would be super cute. I am going to go ahead and put a little glue back there too. Oh, no, I think I went too far. Oh, shoot. Okay, so don't do what I do, which was I glued down both parts instead of just the back part. But we can fix that. There you go. You want this, and then I'm going to get a rag. Wipe that plate. You want this to be like three-dimensional so you can accommodate all of those embellishments you're going to include in your swap pocket. Okay, so, all right, I got a little glue on there, but I can get that off. Okay, so there you have it. There's our lid. I think it's glued right to there. And then, so you see from the side, that's what it should look like. Initially, I had this in there too. Mistakes happen. Okay, so that is our lid. Now let's adhere our pocket, and then we'll put our snap on, and then we can decorate. Although I'm not going to decorate it right now, just wanted to show you how it was done. So let's get these ready, this ready. Okay, the struggle is real. This is why I don't do a lot of tutorials, people. Okay. Okay, so now we're ready to adhere this. Just line it up with your patterned paper. Yeah, unfortunately with the tape, you don't have a lot of wiggle room, but if I had a little glue tape over the edge, then it gets stuck. There you go. Now it's fixed. Okay, so here you have our gusseted pocket. Yeah, all right. And you can see it's gonna hold quite a few things. Okay, so now let's get going with our snap closure. So I have one of these cam snap setters, and I have the 4 pieces necessary. Basically, it's, you know, a top, a bottom, and then a male and a female, it's called. So you're gonna wanna figure out where you want your snap, and I'm thinking right here. And you gotta poke a hole to get it started. Okay, so I'm just eyeballing it. I'm not a real big, all right, so there we go. And I'm gonna use the pokey tool. Nothing fancy. I guess you could use a hole punch if you wanted to be precise. So that's the first side, and it doesn't matter whether you have the, you know, male or the female side on the top or the bottom, so it doesn't matter. Then you put that on there and literally just use that tool to set it. Okay, oops, I'm upside down, sorry. And give it a squeeze. Okay, there you go. So now we have, uh-oh, I may have over squeezed. Okay, so this is real time, people. All right, so let's see where that lines up. And I'm gonna say it's like right. Like I said, I'm not real precise with measuring or anything, so, and then poke a hole in the bottom. And this flat piece is going to go on the back. And then this piece, make sure you have it facing the right way, is going to go there. And then we're going to just set this. Sorry, I'm out of screen, I know, but I have to get this in the right spot. Okay, give it a squeeze, and you have your bottom set, I think. So let's see. All right, I did damage the outer piece a little bit, so no, I screwed something up. Well, you get the idea. Anyway, I've somehow screwed this up as per usual. There you go. Now you have a little snap pocket, and that you can put your goodies in. And just for reference, let's see, we have some stuff made here in this. All right, we can put some bag toppers in and some cakes, since this is going to be a little chocolate theme, like a patisserie. There you go, and then you can close it up, and it holds quite a bit, like I said. So this is what I'm going to be doing for my Happy Mail. I don't know how I'm going to decorate this yet, but I will post a picture when it's completed. So, all right, thanks for hanging in there with me. I know that was a little bit of a disaster, but I'm hoping to get a tutorial every month out on a Tuesday. So thanks. Hope this helped. And you can ask any question in the comment section down below. Thank you for showing some grace, and thank you for hanging in there. Have a great day.